Hi everyone, my name is Thakshila Fernando, and today I will be presenting on the topic ride sharing platforms, user factors, and barriers. This presentation is based on a systematic literature review by Mitropolis et al. 2021, which critically investigates the development, challenges, and opportunities within the ride sharing industry. The topic also aligns closely with the growing global conversation around sustainable mobility, digital innovation, and business ecosystems in transport. Moving on to the next slide. When it comes to why is ride sharing a global business priority, ride sharing has emerged as a critical response to increasing urbanization, environmental concerns, and the growing need for more efficient transport systems. The article identifies several significant advantages of ride sharing: reduction in traffic congestion, decrease in pollution, improved affordability and inclusivity of mobility. However, despite these benefits, the review highlights that ride sharing is still not universally adopted. This is primarily due to a mix of technological, behavioral, and regulatory barriers. Understanding these core issues and innovations is essential to shaping the future of sustainability urban mobility. For an example, in Australia, Didi has positioned itself as a more affordable and environmentally friendly alternative to traditional taxi services. By promoting carpooling operations such as Didi Express Pool, the company actively works to reduce carbon footprints. What this study explores. This research focuses on four key areas. First one is defining ride sharing. This study investigates how ride sharing is identified, revealing that there is no single, universally accepted definition across studies. Understanding these inconsistencies is key as definitions can vary across platforms and academic works. Second one is major ride sharing platforms. This study examines the characteristics of major ride sharing platforms operating globally, analyzing their size, business models, and geographic scope. Third one is user behavior. The research delves into user behavior, exploring who chooses ride sharing services and why. It identifies key factors that influence the adoption or rejection of these services. Fourth one is barriers to expansion. Finally, the study explores the various barriers that prevent ride sharing from expanding successfully, including technological, behavioral, and regulatory challenges. Through these objectives, the author provides a comprehensive view of the ride sharing ecosystem, offering valuable insights for both scholars and practitioners. Moving on to the next slide. When it comes to core findings, ride sharing platforms and users, one of the key findings of the review was the identification of 29 ride sharing platforms. However, only 62% of these platforms were still active at the time of this study, highlighting the volatility and competitive pressure within the industry. In terms of user adoption, the article categorizes key factors into three groups. First one is socio-demographic factors. We can give examples like age, gender, income. And second one is location-specific factors. Examples like urban versus rural settings. And third one is system factors. Trip distance, matching efficiency, platform reliability. An example of adapting to user needs comes from Didi, which recognized these factors early on in Melbourne and Sydney. Didi invested heavily in building strong safety features to attract more female riders and drivers. Notable features include a live location sharing and an emergency assistance button integrated into the app. Moving on to the next slide. When it comes to barriers to adoption, what's holding ride sharing back? Despite the potential benefits, significant barriers still hinder the widespread adoption of ride sharing. The study identifies four main barriers. First one is economic barriers. Fluctuating prices driven by factors such as fuel cost or surge pricing can discourage users from choosing ride sharing. And second one is technological barriers. Machine algorithms must be fast and reliable. A 10-minute wait can lead to users abandoning the platform. For an example, in Australia, Didi addressed these challenges by improving real-time matching using AI and big data analysis. And third one is behavioral barriers. Lack of trust remains a critical issue. Some passengers are hesitant to ride share due to privacy concerns or fear of riding with strangers. And last one is regulatory barriers. Different states in Australia have varying rules on insurance for rideshare drivers, making operations more complex. Didi had to adapt its driver requirements on a state-by-state basis. The author stressed that unless these layered challenges are addressed, even well-funded ride-sharing initiatives may struggle to scale effectively. We'll move to the next slide. What this means for ride-sharing business models. From a business model perspective, the review emphasizes that trust must be central to the design of ride-sharing platforms. To build and retain customer bases, platforms need to prioritize creating safe, reliable, and user-centric experiences. Moreover, the review highlights that integrating ride-sharing with broader mobility as a service ecosystems present a key growth opportunity. This integration would involve connecting ride-sharing seamlessly with public transportation options such as buses and trains. For an example, in Australia, Didi has already taken early steps toward this integration by encouraging users to combine ride-sharing with public transit hubs. However, full mass integration remains a longer-term goal. We'll move to the next slide. When it comes to rethinking ride-sharing for the future, looking ahead, innovation opportunities for the ride-sharing industry are clear. Platforms must create target incentives for undeserved groups such as rural passengers, university students, and women. Smart AI-driven matching algorithms need to evolve, making ride-sharing faster, safer, and more personalized. Community and corporate ride-sharing models are gaining traction, such as Didi offering employee transport services. In Australia, for example, Didi is experimenting with integrating community transport options, allowing event organizers or corporations to pre-book fleets for employees or attendees. To truly succeed, ride-sharing platforms need to go beyond traditional models. They need to offer discounts and incentives for university students, rural commuters, and off-peak riders to fill demand gaps. And also, they need to develop AI algorithms that not only matches users quickly but also learn and adapt to their preferences over time. And they need to expand partnerships with public transport hubs to create a seamless, flexible, and inclusive mobility ecosystem. Imagine a future where ride-sharing is as common as owning a Myki card in Melbourne, making transport more accessible, inclusive, and environmental friendly. We'll move to the last slide. When it comes to in conclusion, the systematic review highlights that while ride-sharing offers many significant benefits, its future success depends on overcoming critical barriers, especially around trust, regulatory clarity, and technological innovation. Platforms that prioritize safety, user trust, smart technology, and environmental sustainability will be far better positioned for long-term success. By aligning business strategies with user needs and public values, ride-sharing can truly transform urban mobility into a more sustainable, inclusive, and flexible system. To conclude, ride-sharing holds tremendous promise but also faces complex layered challenges. A user-centered, flexible, and sustainable approach will be critical for building resilient and responsible ride-sharing ecosystems. Thank you for your time.